Hello and thanks for joining me, your sports pilot James Glory, on an exciting episode of Sport Vibe on DNTWOK, where we'll bring you exciting and latest sport happenings across the world of sport, as is our tradition to do so. This week won't be an exception, so I've implored you to please stay tuned, because we'll be right back shortly after this break. Welcome back. Quite a dramatic weekend we had across the globe, particularly in the football world for football fans around the top European clubs. You remember that Chelsea Football Club lost their match to Brighton and Hove Albion, who brightened up our weekend after Manchester United also lost to Brentford. Quite a dramatic weekend in the world of sports. And quickly lost out from the Premier League, talking about Chelsea Football Club, who has found it a routine to be getting red cards over the weekend. Remember that in their game against Manchester United in the Premier League, they were shown a red card where their goalkeeper was sent off, and also in their loss to Brighton and Hove Albion over the weekend, we saw Chalobah being shown the red card, and Brighton were able to crawl back into the game. This was a banter from Chelsea Football Club to Manchester United fans. You remember that Manchester United had the early kickoff over the weekend, where they also lost to Brentford 3-1. It was a replica of Manchester United result for Chelsea. How life comes at you so fast for Chelsea fans over the weekend, following the route of Manchester United. You remember that the pressure keeps mounting on Ruben Amorim as the manager of Manchester United, but I will take nothing away from the manager this time around, and I'll put the blame on the players who couldn't just stick to the plans and get the maximum win. It has been a back-to-back defeat for Chelsea Football Club also, but Manchester United has failed to win a back-to-back match in the Premier League since the arrival of Ruben Amorim as their manager. They have played 33 Premier League matches overall, and they are yet to put a string of matches won together in the Premier League. What is wrong with Ruben Amorim? Like I said before, the match between Chelsea and Manchester United over the weekend ended in favor of Manchester United defeating Chelsea, but that result seems to be a fluke against Brentford over the weekend, as Manchester United were made to suffer at the Brentford Stadium. The only positive for Manchester United fans in that feature was that they saw Benjamin Sesko scoring his first goal for Manchester United, and they were hoping to come back to the game. But we also saw Bruno Fernandes losing his second penalty for Manchester United this season that could have taken the game to a level of 2-2 draw at some point, but Manchester United losing out of that opportunity gave Brentford the chance to extend their lead to 3-1 in the Premier League. And after that match, we saw Chelsea Football Club, like I said before, slipping to Brighton and Hove Albion. That was just not the end of it. Remember that last week I said there are two clubs left in the Premier League that are yet to be defeated in the Premier League, and that was Liverpool and Crystal Palace. This weekend they faced each other, and Crystal Palace were able to defeat Liverpool to bring to an end their 100% record in the Premier League. An interesting one in that particular match, as the twist was that Crystal Palace were able to do the Liverpool against Liverpool, scoring a late winner against Liverpool to deprive them of their 100% record, and the Oliver Glasner side has continued to maintain their incredible unbeaten form in the Premier League right now. They remain the only unbeaten team in the Premier League as they sit in the third position in the Premier League. Liverpool with 15 points ahead of Arsenal Football Club, who were able to win Newcastle over the weekend 2-1. I think Arsenal Football Club should be proud of themselves as they remain the only big team over the weekend to be able to win their match. Of course, Manchester City won their match over the weekend, but looking at the title race right now, Arsenal Football Club are mounting pressure on Liverpool, who were defeated by Crystal Palace over the weekend, and also Manchester City, like I said, were able to win Burnley 5-1 in the Premier League to continue to hope that they'll be back to the form that they deserve under Pep Guardiola following a draw against Arsenal in the previous week. And quickly, let's go on a very short break, and when we're right back, we continue from where we stop.
JK Royal Signatures, a blend of African fabric.
Welcome back, and still talking football, an interesting one in the Spanish La Liga after talking about the Manchester United defeat, the Chelsea defeat, and the Manchester City won over the weekend. We talk about the Spanish La Liga, an interesting one because I was here last week saying that Atletico Madrid have just put one win over the season in the Spanish La Liga, but as the Madrid debut, we saw Atletico Madrid defeating Real Madrid 5-2. They were the first to throw the first blow, but Real Madrid responded with 2 goals from Kylian Mbappe. And we also saw their man in the person of Arda Güler scoring the second goal. But man, Atletico Madrid did give up without a fight in that particular man as they leveled the score sheet before the break. And after the break, Atletico Madrid were able to show dominance against Real Madrid in the Spanish La Liga. And this hurts Real Madrid so much, who has maintained 100% record. And this brings me back to what I said at the beginning of this weekend edition. I said big teams losing game over the weekend looks as if to be the routine for them ahead of the UEFA Champions League matches that will be taking place tonight. And take nothing away from Atletico Madrid defeating Real Madrid 5-2 in that particular one. The Xabi Alonso side suffering their first defeat in the Spanish La Liga and across all competition this season. A sad one for them, as Barca could capitalize on that as they did over the weekend, also defeating Real Sociedad to go at the top of the Spanish La Liga. As things stands right now in the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona are sitting ahead of Real Madrid, who have started this season emphatically in the Spanish La Liga. But you take nothing away from Barcelona also, as Lamine Yamal got back and provided an assist to make that possible for Barcelona, as they are already grooving this season already before the El Clasico, and this is going to be a long one to watch out for. Will Real Madrid be able to bounce back to maintain their spot, or will they be sitting at the second position for a long while in the Spanish La Liga, as Barcelona are back to their winning ways and sitting above them with 1 point in the Spanish La Liga? And another interesting one talking about football is traveling down to the Italian Serie A. Over the weekend, we saw Juventus dropping points over the weekend, and an emphatic one over the weekend is the match between AC Milan and Napoli, where we saw the battle between De Bruyne and Lucas Modric. But sadly, it was the AC Milan midfielder that was able to come out as victorious in the match between Napoli and AC Milan. And at the Italian Serie A right now, we have 3 clubs having 12 points to themselves. We have AC Milan, we have Napoli, and AS Roma securing 12 points in the Italian Serie A. These 3 teams have only lost 1 game each in the Italian Serie A. We up for a treat at the Italian Serie A, but in the Bundesliga, we talk about Bayern Munich, who have maintained their 100% record in the league right now. They are sitting at the top of the league right now. You can take nothing away from their talisman, where we talk about Harry Kane, who has been able to score a century of goal in his 104 appearances for the Bundesliga. Should we put the argument aside right now? I've seen so many arguments that Harry Kane is better than Benzema, better than Lewandowski. But if you ask me, I think that man is just being underrated, as the England striker has so many things in his name, and within a short period of time in the Bayern Munich team, he has been able to equal and break some of the record of Lewandowski. We should give credit to him, though he is yet to be nominated as a top 3 in the Ballon d'Or award. But you can take nothing away from Harry Kane, who has been a catalyst for Bayern Munich in moving closely to another trophy this season. They are still in the Champions League, though the Champions League just started. He has a couple of goals against Chelsea Football Club in the match that they started this season in the UEFA Champions League. And talking about the UEFA Champions League, as we wrap it up on this week's episode of Sports Vibe on DNTWOK, that's an interesting feature to watch out for in the UEFA Champions League this week, as we will be seeing PSG taking on Barcelona tomorrow in the world of football. That is the most interesting fixtures that the UEFA Champions League has, in my opinion. We'll be seeing Barcelona taking on the defending champion Paris Saint-Germain. Who will be winning it between them? It's going to be a tactical battle between Hansi Flick and, you know, in the person of Luis Enrique, who will be dominating that one. We'll be seeing the Ballon d'Or winner in the person of Dembele taking on the second position Lamine Yamal, who has been back from injuries. A boost for Barcelona against PSG, seeing Lamine Yamal back to the squad, but Rafinha will be out of the squad. Let's see if they will be able to win that particular one against the Barcelona side. Also, we'll be seeing Napoli taking on Sporting, and we'll be seeing the likes of Liverpool taking on Galatasaray in the UEFA Champions League. Madrid will be starting this week Champions League features, as they'll be hoping to bounce back from the lose that they suffered against Atletico Madrid. And this is the length at which will be going on this week's episode of Sport Vibe on DNTWOK. For more news and sports stories, follow us across our various social media handles at Sport Vibe on DNTWOK. Enjoy your week. Remain a law-abiding citizen. Thank you.